Hello, and welcome to another video on the channel. In this one, we're going to be looking at a multi-tool that I everyday carry, an EDC tool that has become one of my favorite things. It's pretty popular on many online shopping sites like Amazon, Temu, and stuff like that. Also, I started to see it pretty often in like convenience stores and stuff like that. Even here locally when I shop, I find a few of these, either in this color or a different color, but I'd say silver ones are probably the most common ones to see. So what we are looking at here is like a Swiss Army knife that's not it's not Victorinox or something like that. I'm not sure the name of the brand that produces those popular Swiss Army knives, but this one is kind of no brand. I don't see any markings or any symbols of any tool brand company. It's just a tool like as is with no name on it. But we all pretty much know it as a Swiss Army knife. It does have a knife. It doesn't have a bit driver. It doesn't have pliers, but it does have a Phillips type screwdriver here. Hope you can see my the zoom on this camera is terrible, but there we go. That's a Phillips head, and I can tell you it's pretty decent one. You can do things with this. I did find this same multi-tool in two different built with two different metals. This one I'd say it's a little better quality. It's a little harder steel. I did find another one that's built with a malleable metal, pretty weak metal, something that's pretty easy to damage. And especially on these Phillips heads, you can pretty much tell the difference when you use this a few times. If you see it's wearing off, it's probably pretty bad metal or it's not hardened steel. This one, it's pretty decent, I'd say. So just take a look at when you're looking at these, take a look at this Phillips head to see what kind of metal it is, if you can test it out, or if you can, try to look for the build here, because where it's cut is usually you can actually see the metal, that's how metal is made. If it's if you can recognize, you can learn to recognize malleable metal to hardened steel. Especially you can recognize, when you learn that, you can really quickly recognize on this cut here what type of metal it is. That's like a pro tip, I guess. But overall, this one is built. This is a metal cover here. It's a metal handle, I guess. So I like that one. There's also some that come with plastic. Not my favorite, but I guess there's that one as well. Also have grip rubber here. Pretty nice one, I'd say. It holds pretty well. So I'd say metal is pretty decent for the price. I bought this one for like 7-8 euros, and I did see them like Temu for like 5 euros or so. So they're on the cheap end of specter of these multi-tools. That's why they're really popular. Also, they have pretty decent knife, I'd say. A lot of multi-tools don't have a great knife. This one is perfect. You can even use this one as a Phillips head. And as a little pry bar, I did find that this tip is, especially with this metal, it's pretty decent. It will bend more than break, or before it breaks. So you're not gonna chip away this tip that easily as with many others. So I'd say build quality or steel on this thing is pretty good. I like it. I did use this one for some time, and you cannot even tell. My camera is not the best, but yeah, it's not being damaged too much, even though I did use especially this knife blade, which is probably the most common tool in this multi-tool set here, as well as the Phillips head. At least for me, those two are pretty much the reason why I have this. Also, one tool that I use quite a bit is this one, the corkscrew, and I use it because of the needle end. Sometimes I'm just trying to punch something through, and I use this sharp tip here, this needle as a needle. I would use needle for. So, like some fabric or something like that, I easily punch through with this thing. Very rarely used for like cork or something like that to open wine bottles or something like that. But I do find a lot of other purposes, especially for punching through things, especially to begin a punch or to, use the tip away, the sharp tip for something. So yeah, I do use it more than I would use this for like its purpose for wine bottle or something like that. Also, there's a few tools here. This side here, trying to. It's actually not as easy as you might think, but it's really hard grip on these. If you wanna get them out, it's not that easy. Trying to show you there are other tools here. So there's this one. I'm not sure how these things are called, by the way. I'm not an expert in this field, but this is how this one looks like. It doesn't have a blade here, but it just looks like a small knife, even though that's not sharp blade here. Just like for punching stuff, I don't know. Maybe use for nails, something like that, clean nails, whatever. Also, there's a nail file, dedicated one, just close with. There's one here, nail file, clean nails as well, but I don't use that one. I do have another one, much better than this one. That also has this thing. I'm not sure what's for. I'd never use it, but it's there. All right, so let's look at these other tools and multi-tool on the other side. Begin here with this thing, can opener. Pretty decent one, I'd say, especially because the steel is pretty good and decent size. This one is not gonna bend too easily. I do find on so many other multi-tools, this thing is really bad quality. This one is pretty decent one. You can use it for pretty much any can you want to open. It does the job. That's why I like it. I like tools that do their job pretty well. Just do your job and you'll be a good tool, basically. This one with a flat head, kind of pry bar stuff, also for opening bottles, open some beer, cold one preferably, and also you have a flat head or whatever you want to, use, maybe pry or something like that. I don't use for prying. I use knife for that usually, but there's dedicated tool for that as well. Also, what we have here, scissors. Not easy to take out. As you can see, it does have a spring that's really loaded. It's not as easy, but yeah, with a little bit of struggle, you can get these scissors out. Are they usable? I guess. I don't use them. Pretty much avoid to use them because not the best ones. In rare occasions where I would want to use scissors, I usually use knife, or I have another scissor that I would use. The thing about tools is you want good tools. You want tools that do their job pretty comfortably as well. And something that if you grab scissors, you wanna have variety of use for these, but I would say this is pretty much for like paper or some string. It will struggle with some strings because it's not that sharp as you may think. It will not cut nails. I mean, my nails are pretty thick, so I don't want to damage my nails now. But it will struggle with some force. I would probably cut, but I don't want to use them for that. Definitely not the best scissors, I would say. So they're there. You can swear that they're you have them, but not great. Other tools, as again, this is really spring loaded, really hard and kind of dangerous to open this multi-tool. There's a serrated blade here, a mini saw. I'd say it's not the worst. I've seen worse in multi-tools, but definitely not something I would use. It can do the job, but I would say use a knife better. It's gonna do pretty much the same job, maybe even better if you sharpen a knife a little bit. But yeah, you have a saw off maybe a little few branches, but definitely not something I ever use. I like tools that do their job, not to struggle when they do the job. But saw is not something gonna do the job well. Okay, this one, not sure what it's for. Never use it. It's serrated, but it's not sharp. I don't know. I don't have an idea what to use it for. And that's pretty much the last tool in this kit. Something that I like to carry this around in my person in my bag that I carry also around the city whenever I go out. I have this one. I don't find a lot of need for like pliers or something like that. And when I have need for pliers, I usually need good pliers, and I usually need two of them. And for that reason, I just if I need pliers, I just come for the good tool. I don't really try with small pliers. Although I do have small plier sets in multi-tools. I have quite a few multi-tools in my collection right now. And yeah, I did try carrying those pliers multi-tools, but yeah, I don't find the use for them. Again, pliers, I usually like to have good ones on me or available, and I usually want two of them. So this pliers in multi-tool are not going to be that much help. So I just have this one pretty much for knife, this needle on its corkscrew, and Phillips head also for a flat head. Sometimes I use knife, and sometimes I use this dedicated one. Or for bottle opening, I actually don't even open this. I kind of use this this end, and just take a beer cap and just pry it open. It works like that. Don't even have to use a tool for that. You can use a multi-tool as a tool. Just the handle of it will do the job. But of course, you can just easily open this thing. It's not that struggle for this, but but the other side, this you can use this one also for ball opening. This one is pretty much dedicated for that, so it's not that much of a big deal. Scissors, I'd say, are the biggest problem here in this set. Also, these ones, they're pretty heavily spring loaded. Also, these ones in the middle, although I would never use them. So yeah, they're really hard to open. But yeah, spring is strong. Some actually have pretty loose spring. As I said, there are quite a few types of these or build qualities in these. So try to look for better ones if you can choose. Look for the metal build. That's basically the whole point of this tool, to be used in variety of things, and you probably, most often than not, you're gonna want good steel. Malleable metal in multi-tool I don't think has a place, and unfortunately I do see it quite often just there with the rest of these tools. But you can pick with a little if you know what you're looking at and what to look for, you're gonna find examples of these that are built well. But there you go. I'll put the link in the description for this or similar one. So check it out. It's an affiliate link, so I do get something out of sales of those if you use the link. Also, leave a like on this video if you do like it. Subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.